This is Bedtime Stories, Grown-Up Edition, Collateral Damage, Part 10. When we left off, MomBrenda had been released from the hospital. She and Stephanie had a long overdue conversation. She didn't tell her about the conversation that she had with her husband, Pastor Corey, but both conversations were rather eye-opening. Whew, that was good Bible. Now, if you watched the bonus episode, then you know that Anya and Ron eloped, and Woody dropped a bomb on Q about their childhood best friend Tufts attempted unaliving in the slammer and the release of the culprit. Q ended up questioning Ron after Woody told him that the assailant, Christian, the older brother of King, the man who essayed Anya, had come to Texas and disappeared, and Ron's lips were sealed. He told Q to talk to Anya. When Q questioned Anya, baby sis had the nerve to tell him that the only way two people can keep a secret is if one of them is dead. Q decided that he didn't need to know that bad, at least not from Anya. But he would need to find out where Christian's trail ended, if for no other reason than so that he could keep Ron and Anya both safe and make sure that their bases were covered. He knew that if he could connect Christian to them, so could law enforcement. So he sent Woody out to do what he does best. A week after Donovan found out that Veronica went missing with his children, he was practically begging his parents to involve the families. Zoe had finally cracked into the hotel's surveillance system, and he knew that Veronica had never entered the hotel. She parked her car in the back of the hotel parking garage, unloaded the car, and walked off the property. The route that she took led away from the hotel's cameras, and she wasn't picked up on any city-owned CCTV cameras from there. When she returned, she parked in the same spot, got out of the car, got the kids out of the car, strapped them into the double strollers, unloaded the Walmart bags, put them under the stroller, and walked back the same route as earlier. And then she never returned to the car. And as we already know, the hotel ended up having the car towed. Everyone was in agreement on three things. 1, this was a well-executed plan. 2, Veronica had another vehicle in close proximity to the hotel, in a remote location and off the beaten path. And 3, she had a highly skilled accomplice. Now, Veronica was no dummy. According to Ron, Veronica was absolutely guilty of the charges associated with Travis Gray and the whole real estate scheme. She had handled that situation in such a way that a skilled attorney like Ron could absolutely create enough reasonable doubt by pointing to evidence that appeared like she'd been framed. But he was sure that she wasn't. It wasn't his job to believe in her innocence or to prove it. His job was to highlight the doubt, and he did that. To make matters worse, after multiple days in Baton Rouge doing surveillance, the PIs had found nothing that indicated that Veronica was there or had ever been. So Q and LJ concluded that the best course of action was to send Miss Bernie and the aunt from Moline to Louisiana to confront the family, and LJ would go with them. When Donovan heard the plan, he refused to let them go without him. In the end, Veronica's Louisiana family told them that they hadn't seen hair nor hide of Veronica or those children. And while they absolutely would help her hide if they truly believed that she and her daughter were in danger, they would never interfere with his custody of his son, because he wasn't a family. When they left, the PIs remained in position, though. They monitored the cameras and the bug that LJ placed in the family's main house. As expected, the PIs didn't overhear anything that suggested that they had been untruthful, but they remained in Louisiana for several days and found nothing. So when Donovan got back and was demanding that the family do more by getting his uncles involved, the Queen Mother reiterated her position that they would not be calling the families. And Donovan stormed off to find Q. When he found him in the kitchen laughing with LJ and Regina, he just got even more angry. His fury rose when he heard LJ say to Regina, "You can't sing either, but that ain't never stopped you." When Regina saw Donovan, she said, "Now, Donovan, that man got some vocals. Donovan, you need to come to karaoke night on Friday." Child, Donovan lost it. He said, "Karaoke night? My damn kids is missing and y'all playing karaoke? Q said, D, lower your voice. The kids is in the other room. Donovan said, so I should give a damn about y'all kids, huh? But y'all clearly don't give a damn about mine. Q said, Donovan, don't get out of hand. I told you, we all still have to live. We still got to work, take care of, and spend time with. Donovan cut him off and said, yeah, and have the time of your damn lives while I'm just going through hell. Then he picked up his weapon of choice, a vase, and threw it across the room. It crashed into the wall, barely missing Lena, Regina, and LJ's 5-year-old daughter, who no one had even seen, into the room. Q grabbed LJ and Donovan said, oh my God, I'm so... And before he could finish that sentence and turn all the way back around, Regina had slumped him. When Donovan came to, Maribel was holding a bag of peas to his head, and he could hear Regina in the other room still going off. She said, y'all gonna have to do something with him. Them damn fruits and berries are clearly not working. That man gonna need some hard drugs if he can't control his damn self. I understand that he misses his kids. Donovan could hear Angela say, Gigi, he's scared and he's gotta feel helpless. Then he heard Regina say, he could have killed my damn baby. Then he heard the Queen Mother say, and you are not wrong, but I'm not gonna let you kill my baby. Girl, you knocked that man clean out and you barely 5 feet tall. LJ, who was in the kitchen with Donovan and Maribel, chuckled and said, and you wonder why I don't play with that girl. My wife got a mean right hook. Donovan said, LJ, man, I'm so sorry, bro. I didn't see her. I just going crazy without my kids, man. LJ said, and I feel you, but this should be the point where you recognize that even when the whole world is upside down, you gotta control you. You have to exert self-control. Then Maribel asked, have you been on your regimen? Have you spoken with your therapist? Donovan said, no and no. Maribel said, well, how about you apologize to your family? And then we go back to your apartment. And first thing in the morning, you make that phone call. The next day, Angela had her 26-week appointment. While her belly is clearly getting larger and rounder, the rest of her looks like it's shrinking. Q is obviously concerned. Angela says she feels perfectly fine. She actually feels better than she has in a long time. She's a little tired and a little achy, but otherwise she has no complaints. However, when she's weighed, Maribel is concerned. Instead of gaining the 5 pounds that Maribel suggested, she's lost 3. Maribel says, that's it, Angela. I'm going to have to put you on modified bed rest, and we're going to have to increase your caloric intake. I also need you to lower your stress level. Q said, love, I know it's difficult with Donovan's situation with the kids, but LJ and I are on it. There's nothing that you can do. You can't be stressing about stuff that you can't control. I need you to focus on taking care of yourself and these babies. Angela said, but I also have to take care of you. And Michael, Melissa, and Angel also have to support MomBrenda and Regina. I have to find a new warehouse manager to replace Rennie. I'm trying to help Anya plan this wedding, and I really need to find out what is going on with Stephanie. Q says, oh my God. Love, listen to me. I need you to focus on you. I'll take care of me, the kids, and you. The whole family is helping with MomBrenda. And let your chief of operations find a new warehouse manager. That's what you got Miss Bernie for. And we can hire somebody to plan Anya's wedding. She already married anyway. And have it out with Stephanie already. Pray for her and move on. Angela said, okay. Yes, sir. A few days later, after getting back on his regimen, having several sessions with his therapist, and getting up the nerve, Donovan finally had that conversation with Anya. Anya signed, Donovan, what happened to me wasn't your fault or mine. It was King's fault. It was Sly and Drew and the rest of his friends' fault. I've never blamed you for anything that happened, and it wasn't anything you could have done to prevent it. If anything, you probably would have gotten hurt too. They had a plan, and King had a gun. If anything, I'm glad you didn't intervene, because his plan was initially to shoot you first. Donovan and Anya had never talked about what happened to her that day at all. So he had no idea how King was even able to get Anya to go into Sly's house. He'd always believed that King somehow tricked her because he was distracted trying to get Moni to come back to the house with him. Anya said, "He threatened to kill you, Donovan. He also threatened to kill me. My goal was to stay alive. I did that, and I'm enjoying my life. You should enjoy yours too." That conversation left Donovan wondering if he was wrong about his parents blaming him all these years too. But he was not ready for that conversation. He had too much on his heart, and he still owed Maribel a conversation. He'd been avoiding her since that day he ate that 2-piece with no biscuit served hot by Regina. When they got back to his apartment that day, he told her that things would go back to normal as soon as he found his kids. She asked what his definition of normal was. He said, "What you mean?" She asked, "What does normal look like to you, Donovan? You have your children back, and then what? What should I expect? What are you expecting?" Donovan said, "Well, my father can go back to enjoying his retirement and stop practically running my company. I can take on more projects so that I can replenish that money I wasted on Veronica. Baby Bella is going to need more of my time and attention. I'm going to have 2 motherless children. Hopefully, by the time they get home, you and I'll be locked in, and I'll have found out what Big Garfield is all about. And you won't mind stepping in and helping me out." When he finished talking, Maribel asked, "Is there a part of the plan where you and I enjoy one another's company, go on dates, take trips, discuss wedding plans?" Donovan said, "Of course we'll enjoy one another's company, and we could go wherever you want to go. Just let me know. But all I need to wait till my kids are home and secure. I'm not really the date planning kind of dude, but you know I'll gladly cook for you. And I don't know about marriage. I don't even think that's in the cards for me, for real. I mean, at least I'm gonna need time after this stunt Veronica pulled. Seemed like every woman I ever even tried to get serious with tried some." Maribel cut him off and said, "So your expectation is that we'll eat at home, go wherever I plan, have lots of sex, and I'll help you take care of your kids?" Donovan said, "Well, when you put it like that, it kind of sounds whack." Maribel just stared at him. Donovan said, "Okay, so which part of that's an issue?" Maribel said, "All of it. For the record, I have no issue helping my man take care of his children. But I'm not playing stepmother to children that I have no legal right to. And I'm not doing wife things with or for a man who is not my husband. I told you when we met, if you want to play, we can play, but I make the rules." Donovan said, "Any woman that I'm going to be with has to accept my children." Maribel said, "It's not about accepting your children, Donovan. I'm not going to allow myself to get attached to, ingratiated into the life of, or fall in love with someone else's children, knowing that at any time their parent can decide that I'm no longer wanted or needed, and I can't be part or parcel to what I know can be emotionally damaging to children." Donovan said, "Well, right now the point is moot, because I don't even know where my children are. Remember?" Maribel said, "Right. But what do you plan to do between now and whenever your children are found? Is the plan to continue starting fights with the people you love, demanding your own way, neglecting your business, and being miserable?" Donovan stared at Maribel, and then he said, "I'm tired. You should probably head out." Maribel said, "Okay, I'll call you tomorrow." And she did, but he didn't answer. She called him several times, several days in a row, and by Wednesday, she stopped calling. And when he showed up at her estate unannounced Thursday evening, the security guard refused him entry.